kind of starting at the top here, this is an Alu-Cab canopy camper for the Gladiator. And on the driver's side, we're running the 270 degree awning made by Alu-Cab. And it's kind of set up, a lot of people have seen these already out in the field a lot. A lot of people, it's a very popular product to camp in, super cool setup and design. But this particular setup, a lot of this is kind of proprietary and set up one way. Like this awning, it's set up on the driver's side. It opens out and around to the back over the door in the back. So on the driver's side, the way this is configured, you've got a hatch on both sides. You can mount stuff to these. We've got some max tracks mounted to the other side. But they kind of come standard with your National Luna light, which is white, 3 different lighting modes on white and red as well. We have a full Goose gear system on the inside that we'll talk about a little bit with some more custom stuff that we've done. This is to kind of just show you the driver's side. This once this truck is finished, it is extremely heavy, and we'll go over some of that here in just a minute. On the back, we're working with the Expedition Essentials propane mount, and that locks your propane tank in. We plumb these in to where it just hooks up like it would on your grill. Just undo it, take it out. It's locked on its own. You can just take it out, fill it wherever they fill tanks, and then just keep it right there on the outside of the truck. On this side, this is one of the options that they have for the Alu-Cab, and it's a little Molle panel that goes on the back here. But we're working with as you know, we've been working with Demos for a long time on the shovels. And so we have the Demos. This is the TAV version. We did a partnership with them a little while back, and we had limited numbers of these. If you guys would like some of those, send us some comments. We're gonna maybe do another run in a different color. We'll do a collab with Demos again, hopefully. So he's got that locked right here on the back, right where you kind of need it. Moving around to the passenger side, this is also an Expedition Essentials component, which I really like. It makes it a little easier to kind of mount and lock your max tracks either to a roof rack or to the side of a camper like this. But as you know, if you've ever worked with max tracks, they can be heavy. If you have 2 or 4 of them, they kind of have a lot of weight to them. So we did something to the gas struts on the inside of this, and when you open it, we just changed the gas struts out so it'll still lift the weight of the max tracks on the door. And it's just changing these guys out. They send them with it on there obviously, but that's to lift an empty door, a lightweight door. But you can get these in stronger lift capacities. Moving around a little bit further forward, this is the Alu-Cab shower cube. So you open this up, and it folds out as a cube, and it just drops straight to the ground. So you can have your shower set up here. This client has a shower that he's got a water tank on the inside, which we'll go over later, but he has a shower that'll deploy on the outside here.
Let's go from.
Okay, so for the layout on the inside of the camper here, this is the Canopy camper from Alu-Cab, and it's got the Goose gear interior on it, which you can get for any of the Canopy campers, with one very custom thing that is not a Goose gear part, and that is the sink module that we made. So it's got the water tank here. This is an Alu-Cab product, and then you've got like the nets and stuff like that, and the little pouches, which is super handy for just at camp. You've got a little platform up here with the bed in the up position. So this is kind of like a 2-piece bed. So you have this main bed that is up. It's got gas struts on it, so it just goes up. You can leave your sheets and pillows and stuff up there. So if you're just at camp and you want some room to move in here, you've got a little shelf here. This is a sleep platform that I'll put down. It's very similar to the one that I'm sitting on here. This is for his kids. This client's got small children that are going to sleep on this, or one of them that's going to sleep down here. So this, the other stuff like the wrap-on toilet, the electric toilet, the Jackery battery pack right here, which he doesn't need for in here because we have an electrical system in here I'll go over. This can all be moved around. The refrigerator's out on the ground. The Dometic fridge is on the ground. So you can move stuff out and set camp up fairly quickly and easily. It's really just 3 items in here that you would move. Other than that, these just lift out of the way, and you can set them up here. So you can just lift this panel out of the way and set it up here and have more room just to kind of move around in here. So you've got somewhere to sit on either side here. You can access you know, you've got drawers here. You can access the inside the benches here. So inside both benches here, you're right over your wheel well. This is a really nice deep cabinet, so you've got top access for this. You can take that off, but you've got a huge compartment right down in here. So what we use that for is there's a water fitting that you can plug your shower into right here, and then this is a quick connect for your air compressor, and we have one on the other side as well. So right here is the other one, and that's where the red arc red vision is right there. It's all mounted to the bulkhead on the inside. There's your other quick connect for your air. This is the hoses from the water tank right here that runs over to the sink, and we have, you know, regular plugs and USBs and stuff right there that come off of the inverter, so you don't actually have to go inside this compartment for anything other than working air. And here's your air compressor. That is your Oasis air compressor, and this is the sink module we had to build. This is back when we spec'd this out for this client. Goose Gear had a prototype of a sink module in one of their other Canopy campers, and this one is something they weren't offering that, and this client was wanting a sink with hot water, so we went ahead and built this unit here, and it's got everything, you know, inside here, and you know, plenty of storage in here as well. So that's part of the red arc red vision 2000 watt inverter right there, the pump and filter and all of that stuff. This inside this cabinet, and then this just folds down. Right, Dometic sink folds down like that, and this is the red arc red vision that kind of controls everything, and you can kind of just monitor that. Over here we have the Dickinson heater, which a lot of people really like. It's kind of a neat heater. You can open it up here to light it. When you turn your fuel on, your gas, you prime it, you can push this in, prime it, turn it on, and this is your air, your fan, and you can turn it on, everything on, and then you can fire it up. And there's a nice little flame that comes up in there, and this is also a propane quick connect for cooking outside if you wanted to hook into that. And this is the other panel. This closes off the floor, so if you have your other bed down, you can bring this down, and there's a mattress pad on top of that, and that completely closes off all of this down here. So he'll have these platforms down here for the kids, and then this here can be pulled down as your main bed. This can be left open or closed however you want it, and that kind of wraps it up for inside the camper. You can kind of see how much you can actually fit in this small Gladiator bed. There is enough room for 2 adults in here. And okay, for the house battery on this camper, we're using 2 100 amp hour lithium batteries from Battleborn, and they kind of have a unique shape, and they fit in there perfectly next to each other. So everything fits in this little forward compartment underneath the water tank really well. It's we've kind of got everything labeled and grouped together, running over to the Oasis compressor that we typically use. And this compressor is no joke. So to run the air horn underneath, we've got a volume tank, 2.5 gallon volume tank that this compressor feeds, as well as airing up tires. You know, 37-inch tires take a lot of volume and a lot of air to get them back up to street pressures. So this compressor makes that very quick. You know, we can air up 4 37-inch tires depending on the diameter of your air hose and fittings that you're using. We've done it in sub 8 minutes, less than 8 minutes, filling up 4 37-inch tires from, say, 18 psi up to about 45 psi, all 4 of them at the same time. So goes really quick with that compressor. And you can kind of see everything kind of tucks away nice and out of the way, but you can access it if you needed to. You can just pull the side panel off and access everything right there.
Yeah.
All right, so on the back door, this is the inside of the back door. It's a couple little different things going on here. We like these fire extinguishers. It's basically kind of like a road flare, and you can just take it off and carry it with you. deploy it and just chuck it into a fire and let it go. So these things are actually pretty cool, and you can they're a lot smaller obviously than this called Element fire extinguisher. We use these in a lot of our builds. It's nice, secure, small. You can keep it one right by your seat on both sides. In the front, keep one right here. You just kind of have them stashed, and you know, they use them in race trucks and things like that, so they're real easy to deal with. This is the GP Factor table that's mounted to the back door here. This is really nice little setup. Really like all their stuff. They make a lot of things specifically for the AluCab, you know, product. But it's got a little cutting board that slides out right here. Nice little prep station. You know, if you're under the awning, you can see we're using the 270 awning here, and it covers all of this. And there's room for the chimney where the exhaust comes out for the heater. And there's also a rain gutter that slides into this awning that's inside this drawer. So if it is raining, it'll actually catch the rain from coming in between the awning and the camper, so you're not getting rain in between the two right here. And that kind of makes this a nice little shelter to cook, hang out, whatever you want. You can also put walls on this awning too, so you can have walls that come straight to the ground. So the wall kit comes with legs that fold down to the ground. This one has a center leg here, but it can close off this entire area under the camper and create a massive outside room. So this is kind of what we're a little prep station in the back. We've got the Expedition Essentials paper towel holder. That is on magnets, so you can kind of just take this off. We had to modify this slightly, we wanted to rivet some actual steel plates onto this aluminum so the magnets would hold a little better than the tape. So you can just plop it right on there and it's good to go. But if you want to get underway, put it in here, leave it up there, whatever, stick some other stuff to it, maybe another magnet piece with some knives on it or something like that. It just gives you a little bit of versatility, you know, for using right here, camp kitchen. It's kind of, and then for the lock, this has an electric lock to it that is hooked up to this, the central lock of the truck. So you can hit lock and this deadbolt comes out. And so if you're inside, you can operate that with the truck lock and it locks it. But then you can also lift up on this and it disengages the deadbolt. Kind of a neat little feature. You can also lock it in with this. This is what comes with the door on these, but this is just an aftermarket piece that he wanted us to put in. So one of the reasons I really like the AluCab 270 awning, we've been using these for so long, since when AluCab first came into the US. And their awning is a true freestanding awning, which means there's no legs that have to come to the ground on these corners in order for this thing to operate. Like, it's a little bit breezy out here. I've had it's one of these in very heavy winds, and it works out great. And it all has to do with how their hinge is designed up here. And that supports, there's a great deal of support and stress that goes into this corner here. So the way this is designed is very strong. And they do have a center leg for this if you wanted to, if it was very windy, or if you just needed a little bit more support for whatever reason, you have a center leg that folds down and you can stake it into the ground right here. And now if it's extremely windy, obviously you don't want to have an awning out. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be just a pain no matter what you're using. But this awning leg supports acts as a corner, because the awning wall kit that velcros into this, there's one that goes onto that side and that leg, and then it gives you corners for the wall kit to wrap around, and it creates the shape of the walls. And then you have these guy lines that stuff into the arm. These guy lines come down to the ground and strap it down as well. So you can stake it in through the foot of the leg, or you can run a guy line to the ground if you need to use it that way. All right, so for like the shower cube, we've got this out. This will hold its shape if you stake the corners to the ground, and it's a nice cube, and it has plenty of room on the inside. You can kind of see how wide this is. But this is where this Zargus case, as you know, we've been working with Zargus for quite a while. So this Zargus case holds his hot shower. He's got the water tank right here, but he can just set this up right on this case, right next to where the plumbing is, and have a hot shower and the quick connect for his propane. All of that comes out on this side of the truck. So he can have hot shower right here inside the shower tent and just leave it there. and then that is a wrap-on electric toilet. So if you're not using this as a shower, you can just keep this right inside here. It has legs on it, so it all is stored inside this box, and that box is the unit itself. So you can just keep that inside there. Everything's very clean. There's no water that's required for that. It's just a bag that once it's used, it just heat seals itself and then cuts it, and then it just throw it away in the trash can. So there's literally no mess and no plumbing, and then everything just kind of stows right inside that box. All the shower stuff just stows right inside this. Just close this up, and then it stacks nicely right next to that, and the jackery right on the floor in the camper. So that's really the only 3 things you need to take out. All right, guys, appreciate you checking out the camper walk around on this Gladiator. It's kind of a lot going on. Seems like there's so much more going on when we do kind of put these things together, but you can get the gist of what this client was wanting, and the layout of it, the size of things, what it looks like when somebody's standing in it. And you know, this is just one of the many different offerings that we can kind of put together, depending on the vehicle you have, what your family needs are, what your travel needs are. It's very important to get all of those details together so we can get you fitted with the right camper that's going to work right for your truck. So hopefully you got something out of this. To look at more AluCab components and things like that, check out our website, tavllc.com. Check us out on Instagram at tavllc. And obviously, if you want to swing by the shop, come on by and check it out. We've always got something kind of neat going on there too. And hopefully you were able to get something out of this.
Sweet.